Morning. I want to come on here really quick and just see how everything is going. I wanted to remind you that, guys, you're always going to have hiccups in life. You're always going to have trials and tribulation. And, when those things happen, you have to keep moving forward. You have to do whatever it takes to keep going forward, because I think a lot of times, individuals, they have dreams, they have visions, and they're hoping for something great, but then there's always something that's going to come, right? Either it's family, it's the environment, something's going to come and just pull that rug from under your feet, and you feel like you fell, right? And then sometimes you go through life and something happens and it feels like someone punched you in the gut. And so in those moments, I want you to remember that this is something that we all go through, okay? Everyone goes through challenging times. And so I've talked a lot about in the past seasons, that life is in seasons. And so I talked a lot about this last year, and I think, and there's information that I keep talking about just to kind of like refresh, because sometimes we need to remember that we are not alone on this earth, right? There is other individuals that are going through difficult times and even worse times. So, none of us is exempt from trials and tribulations. But the most important thing in those moments, I want you to remember, is we can't control what happens to us, right? To a certain extent, right? If, for example, if there's a storm coming and there's a hurricane coming, there's just no way we can just like move our house from that, right? And that's one example. Or, if someone were to mistreat us, or maybe there's a business partner, or maybe it's a family member, or maybe it's a best friend, or maybe it's your significant other, they mistreat you, they treat you bad. You can't control that, but what you can control is how you react to that, right? And this is where it becomes really powerful. And this is why I came in this morning, because this is something that I want to remind you. I want to remind you on this, because it's so important, because this is where I see a lot of people come into that season and they fold and they become paralyzed. And sometimes they go back to what's familiar, meaning they regress back into an environment that they're comfortable, that is normal to them, even if it's not good. It's just they turn around, they fold, and they go back, right? When they were moving along, when they were going through all their goals, when they were doing great, and they were just doing just successful things, and they were developing, and then something happens, and the way they cope with it, they don't have any coping skills, right? They're not able to mentally handle a situation, so they will fold, shut down, and sometimes they will just turn around. So it's in those moments that you have to remember that, okay, no one's exempt, right? And there's some things you can't control, right? And there's some things you're going to have to go through. And no one wants to go through these things, right? But the power that we have in that moment is, how am I going to respond to this? Am I going to cry? Okay, if you need to cry, I understand. Let it out, right? It's healthy. If you're going to get upset, understandable, right? We all have moments where our emotions kind of take over, but don't stay in that moment. Don't dwell on that moment. Don't let it linger and linger for the entire day and to the next day and then the week and then the month, because you are losing your power. That's not changing anything, except you're losing time, you're losing your energy, you're losing your focus. Easy said than done, I know, but this is why we have to work on our mindset. This is why we need to continue to have personal growth, because it's in those moments that stop a lot of people from starting businesses, from achieving the next step in their life, their next goal, right? There is something great out there for you. There is something great out there for me. There is a promise for us, right? When we were born, God had great things planned for us, guys. You know, whether you believe it or not, he had something planned out for us. He had great things happening. But the thing about it is that people have free will. And people choose to do whatever they want to do, whether they want to follow God or they don't want to follow God, right? If they want to be in his blessings or they don't want to be in his blessings. But everything has a consequence, right? And because people have free will, people are going to hurt each other. People are going to decide to hurt someone. Someone's going to decide to do something bad to someone, and it affects the other person, right? And so that's why it's so important that we try to stay away from negativity. We try to stay away from toxic people. We try to stay away from an environment that does not serve our purpose, because we need to be around like-minded individuals, right? And people that are going in the same direction. I mean, that would definitely help kind of like alleviate a lot of headache, you know, because you're avoiding those areas that breeds toxicity, that breeds stupidity, that breeds headaches, and just bad environment. And I want to give an example about that. A bad environment, toxicity. What do you mean? Like if you were brought up in a home where all you heard, and which was normal people yelling, screaming, arguing, throwing things, you know, at each other, punching the walls, calling the cops. Do you know that that is some people's normal way of living? That's just normal. They grew up that way. That's normal to hear, you know, and the only way to get your point across is to yell at each other. So that's what I'm talking about. Like those environments, people think it's normal. People think like this is how it is. And so if you're going to be in a household like that, do you think there's peace there? Do you think there's, you know, there's peace and calmness and relaxation? No. So what does those environment breed? Confusion, hurt, pain, discouragement. Where is that going to take you in life? Sometimes we think like, oh, my life will get better one day. You know, it's magically going to just happen. And then it's magically going to happen while you're in the same place, while you're thinking the same way. No, there's so many things that affect our success in life. There's so many things that affect where we're going. And sometimes the biggest force is ourselves, because we are having a hard time handling situations. One thing after another is one thing. And I know that feeling because I've seen it with other people around me. Right? It's one thing after another. Like, you know, that person that always has something going on. There's always a death in the family. There's always a car issue, and then their house burned, and then their dog got run over, and then someone tried to attack them, and then their account got hacked. It's just like, what? Like, how does this keep happening to you? Right? And so I can't explain that, but there are people that go through that. It's one thing after another. Well, it happens to everybody. Right? And just different ways, because we all make decisions every day, and we're all probably making better decisions than each other. You know, there's just things that I wouldn't put myself in to even lead up to that issue. You know, for example, some people going to the bar and someone hit them in the face because they were drunk. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen to me, because I don't go to the bar. I'm not going to go and get drunk. Like, so there's certain things that happen to people because the choices that they make, right? And that's just a whole different story. But guys, just a reminder, okay, that No matter what you go through, no matter how dark it is, sometimes you have to remember one thing. If you stay in the mindset of pity, poor me, my life sucks, it's never going to work out, it's one thing after another, my mom, my dad, my stupid car, right? Where is that going to take you? You're just dwelling in it, and you're like drinking that cup. You have to, in those moments, think about, okay, this moment, yeah, I'm upset. I'm hurt. Someone walked out of me after all these years. They decide to walk out from me, right? Or I cannot believe that after everything we talked about on our goals, this business partner stole from me, right? Or, you know what? I cannot believe I saved all my money and this person stole all my money. Like, you're going to have those moments where you feel broken. And you feel like, I can't go on, it's just a horrible thing in the world. Or this relationship, I can't believe he cheated on me. I can't believe she cheated on me. I can't believe my best friend slept with my girlfriend. I can't believe my best friend slept with whatever, right? These things are going to happen, guys. Free will. And it's in those moments where it's really hard to be positive, right? It's really hard to be positive and to move on. But it's in those moments where you have to realize, how am I going to get over this hump? Like, I can't dwell on it. I can't stay on it. It's distracting me. These are distraction, guys. And I'm trying to get over here and I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to better my life, but this is a bump. It's in those bumps is where people make really bad decisions if they don't have a really good thought process about things, and they're not really making good decisions on a daily basis, right? And they're not mentally stable. And it's in those moments that they might go crazy and they might hurt somebody. They might go crazy and hurt themselves. So we don't want to get to that point, guys, right? Or they might get upset and they might burn down the other building because they're upset about the other business owner took all their customers, whatever. Like, you hear about this stuff, right? You see this stuff. Because it's how are we thinking about it in those moments? So within those moments, you have to remember all the blessings that you have. All the good that you have. And you have to think about the most important thing is that we're still here. We're breathing. We have air in our lungs. We have our health. We have our family. And maybe not everybody is functional. Not everybody is stable mentally, but you have your family, right? Everybody is unique in their own way. Everybody has things that they're dealing with, and no one is perfect. And we have to understand that. And you have to understand too, like, okay, I can't control everybody, but what can I do in this situation? Okay, it hurts me, right? It hurts. I cannot believe they walked out on me. But you know what? The thing is like, let that not be what stops you. Let that be a lesson to say, you know what, you are strong. You can overcome this. You do need to take a breather. But I wouldn't say don't let it drag. Don't let it drag a day or two, a week, a month, a year. Pity, upset, angry. That takes all of your energy. That makes you so exhausted. That distracts you from those things, those goals that you wanted to do. And then everybody knows you're upset, right? And then you're in whatever it is. There's no multiplication of positivity in that vibe. It's just negativity. It's just taking your energy. So let that be a reminder for you guys this morning. If you're going through some hard times, if you're going through some tribulations, just know that no one's exempt from this stuff. Everybody has a different degree of it, right? Some people have gone through worse. Some people have gone through not as bad, yet there's still, things yet to come. But also, there's also good to come, right? Like in every storm and every tree shaken and their leaves falling, what do? They steadfast. They stay rooted in the truth, right? That there will be another day, that there will be sunshine, and that seasons change, and life is in seasons. You're going to have some great times and wonderful times, and then you're going to have some bad times. Well, guys, we have to prepare for those bad times. We have to get ready mentally, because what is it in those hard times What is it in those hard times that gets us through? It's how we're thinking about it. It's how we're going through it, right? Because our mind is what helps us get through those hard times. So just a reminder before I end, guys, and if you missed it, you really have to take the time to listen to this very powerful stuff I was going over today. You have to realize that life is in seasons. We're all going to go through trials and tribulations. We're going to have some good times. We're going to have some bad times. It's just in those bad times, don't dwell on it too long to take away your peace, to take away from your vision, take away your energy, because it doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't serve any purpose, right? And so you have great things ahead of you. And you have to believe that, because people in those moments when they have a really hard time, they're going through some hard times, someone cheated on them, someone left them, some business partner hurt them, a loved one hurt them, a family member said something insulting, they got beat up, whatever. It's in those moments, do they want to fold, give up, turn around, and but like, this is where we need to overcome our emotions, right? We need to overcome and know, like, I am an overcomer. I'm going to get through this. You know, everybody goes through stuff. No one's exempt. We all go through. And it's when you go over that hump, when you go over that and you know, right, and you keep moving forward, that's where you build that muscle of being resilient. That's when you build that muscle of being overcomer. And that's when you build that muscle that nothing's going to faze you. Nothing will faze you, because you decide that you are going to handle things differently. You're not going to let people, you're not going to let circumstances control you to feel a certain way. Yes, you might get upset. Yes, someone might have walked out of you, right, from your life. Maybe a friendship didn't work out. Maybe someone hurt you so bad they were your best friend. It's going to happen, because again, like I said earlier, people have free will. People will make decisions. You can't control people, but you can control how you think and you feel about it and how you're going to react to it. Are you going to let it destroy you, stop you, make you numb, paralyze, make you fold? Or naturally it is, you will get upset, because we're human. You will cry. You will feel numb and dark and like you're in, like you just want to like disappear. But it's in those moments when you feel like that, you have to change it. You have to think about truth. I'm blessed. I'm healthy. I have a great family. Whatever it is that is true. What is your truths? Don't dwell in the negativities. I wish people would care more about what others feel towards them. I wish people should care more about what others feel towards them. Yeah. Oh, guys, welcome. I'm about to hop off here, but I was going over some really powerful stuff, guys. I have a meeting today at 10:30 with my land development project. Trying to make it move forward. Yeah, because there's always something going on. But today I have that, so I'll be getting ready. But I just want to stop out really quick and remind y'all about, just kind of talk about a topic about when you're going through some hard times, how to overcome that. And I think that was in my heart today. Like, that was in my heart today. And I was like, I really want to share this, because a lot of people might go through some dark times and they feel alone, right? And they feel like, sometimes they feel like alone and they feel lost and they feel like, what's my purpose? And sometimes it's really hard if they're not mentally strong to handle those emotions. And so I was talking about techniques. I was talking about like what is true What is the truth, right? We can't control what people do to us and what happens around us, right? But we have the power to decide how we're going to react towards that, right? Like, how long am I going to dwell on this? How long are you going to cry about it? How long are you going to be in the darkest hole ever? We all know that's not going to be productive. We all know that that's not going to bring us to the next level or nothing. It's going to hold us in a pause. And so a lot of people in those moments go backwards and they give up on stuff, right? When they were so close to their breakthrough, but you have to go through these levels. And so I was talking about how we're not exempt from pain and trials and tribulations. We're not exempt. We all go through these things, but not everybody can overcome that stuff. And a lot of people that have great minds and skills and talents, they make the dumbest decisions and they destroy their lives, either with be alcohol, whether it be with drugs, whether it would be with just hurting themselves and doing stupid stuff, because this guy's just so powerful, right? And so no matter what happens, you got to keep moving forward. You have to keep going forward, guys. You have to keep going forward. No matter what happens, and the thing is, you have to be positive. I know it's hard, but you have to, even if you're having those dark moments, you need to listen to something that's true. You need to listen to something that's uplifting, something that is going to motivate you to remember what your purpose is. Because if you dwell normally when someone's upset, what do? We want to get away from everybody, right? We want to go to our room. We want to go to our closet. We want to be left alone. Don't talk to me. You're upset. You don't want to answer the phone, right? And so when we do that, do you know you're the most vulnerable because you are in your own head. You're in your own head. You are thinking. And what are your thoughts in those moments? Negativity. You're thinking about all kinds of bad things. You're thinking about like the past and all. You have to break that immediately. You have to listen to something. So when I'm in those moments, when I'm upset about something, when, whatever it is, I'm upset about something, I get an email, someone pissed me off, someone texts me, someone pissed me off, someone walks in my office, they piss me off, right? And I'm not easily phased. Like, I'm pretty composed, right? I'm cool. You won't even know I'm upset. If I am upset, like, that's just how I am. Poker face, right? But it doesn't mean that there's nothing going on inside my head. It doesn't mean that I'm not having like chest tightness and like I'm extremely boiling inside. But it's in those moments where I listen to something that's going to encourage me, right? So guys, I'm not here to talk about preaching and stuff, but one of my favorite, you can look her up. I grew up with her, listening to her. That really has helped me a lot when I was younger, when I was going through life as a teenager and, drama in the house, like you name it. I've probably been through it. And the word for me is life. Like, okay, this is what has helped me. I'm sharing with you. You can stay on here if you like. You can tune me out if you want. But guys, sometimes we past things that are life-changing because we're in our own head. Well, Joyce Myers, powerful woman. Oh my God, I love her. I listen to her every day. I was actually listening to her on my way dropping off my son from school, and I just got to my house and I was like, I really feel like I need to talk about this. And so I'm talking about it, and I'm probably gonna have to go right now because I have this meeting I gotta meet at 10:30 at this land development. So I gotta, do my hair and all this stuff. And so I listen to her all the time. So when I'm in my moments where I feel really upset or I feel blue, because I'm human too, guys, like everyone feels this way, right? What works for me is I listen to truth. I listen to preaching. I listen to God's word because God's word is life. And that has really helped me and given me a lot of wisdom, is for God to give me wisdom. I pray about that all the time. I prayed about that since I was a child, and he definitely has helped me and gone through some dark times and gone through some difficult times. I don't even think I would be here today if it wasn't for him, honestly. And so I can definitely relate to a lot of people in all kinds of degrees because I've been through a lot, and everybody has too, and everybody has, but like, what are we doing to help other people, right? Some people don't help other people. And so for me, it's like, okay, take all of that and do something good with it, right? So that's why I'm here. But I listened to her, and it changes your thoughts. That's the key. You need to change your thoughts in that moment. You need to remember what the truth is, right? If you don't know what truth is, I recommend just read or listen to the word of God, because there's a lot of life-changing principles in there that is implemented now by the wealthy, right? That they talk about how to, that, you know, if you're lazy, you're probably not going to do well. It talks about that. I mean, that's common sense. There's common sense in there, guys. And the fact is that you don't want to dwell in negativity. You don't want to be around environments that's going to drag you down. You don't want to be around people that are going to drag you down. You want to be around people that are uplifting. You want to be around people that are going to take you somewhere, because this life is hard. Especially if you're going to be in business. You mean the Bible? Yes, the Bible. The Bible, right? And so that's my go-to, guys. And I'm not here to push anything on anybody. I'm just here to share with you what has helped me. And so what I like to do is I like to listen to I listen to a lady called Joyce Myers. She has an incredible, if you've never heard about her, I mean, the least person on earth that you would think preach God's word. She's gone through a lot. And she transformed, she used all that pain to transform herself and created a big ministry for women. And so I was just listening to her before I got here, you know, and I just felt in my heart, I just need to talk about this. But anyways, guys, I hope you found some power in this. I hope you feel motivated to know that you can overcome anything and that life will bring challenges. And the key is to not dwell on negativity. The key is to remember what's true. The key is to move forward and keep going towards your dreams, right? No matter what happens, no matter what. It's kind of like you have to go through the dark to find the light. So you know what the difference is, right? So you know what is good. Sometimes when you're in your same environment, the same toxicity, like I was talking about that earlier in my life. I was talking about that earlier. How people that are growing up in a home that yells and screams and throw things at each other, they think that's normal. And so it's just a pattern. Like you don't even know that it's toxic until you go into a different home, right? Yeah. So Joyce Myers, look her up. She's amazing. She talks about things in a very simple way, but yet it definitely resonates with you because she's gone through some hard times, you know. Her father sexually molested her like all through her life, you know, and she went through, I mean, that definitely will damage any woman. So she had a lot of hate and bitter in her, and she just the least likely person to become a very powerful woman to help other women. So, anyways, guys, I can be on forever. You know that. It's been a while since I've been on here. Instagram like restricted me for, I don't even know why. And today I have a meeting at 10:30. So I just want to share this that was in my heart. And I know today you're going to do great things. And hopefully I'll be on soon. Bye.